All right, it's week 8 of FTE 217. My name is Matthew Maltby. It is the 4th of July. I would really like to be out there drinking beer, eating burgers and dogs, but when it comes down to it, my missus is a nurse. She works weekends. Tomorrow she's starting, so this is about the only time I really have to do any real homework right now. But it is our last week, and for most of us, it is our last course, our last semester. So, hoping everybody's got some good leads, worked out. If you don't have any connections, get out there and start networking. Now, this week's assignment is more reflection, more opinion based. So, there's actually 3 main topics that we want to go ahead and cover. The first is reflecting on your interactions with your instructor and fellow classmates throughout this course. Please share insights that you have gained during these interactions. I have really gained a lot of knowledge when it comes to the actual build process. Now, I'm not coming into this completely, without any type of subject matter experience. I built a couple AR platforms. I built an AR9. I built 2 AR15s. So when it comes down to it, I pretty much went into this knowing, hey, I'm going to go ahead and learn a little bit more, get the official seal, the official stamp on it. But when it comes down, I did learn from everybody, from the instructor, from fellow classmates, everyone, a lot of things that I wouldn't have thought of myself, which I have actually used not only in my build, but also in, I'm going to be using in the future. So unfortunately, I'm sorry if I steal something out of your playbook there, but it's definitely, you definitely help somebody else with their growth and knowledge base there. All right. Second, comparing the guidance that you have received in this course to the guidance offered by other recognized experts in the field, do you find any discrepancies? Well, this kind of segues into the next question, but I don't necessarily find any discrepancies. When it comes down to actual, and my fault, it's going to be 4 topics here. But this segues into the third. I don't find any real discrepancies when it comes down to the actual overall process. Some people do things a little bit differently, when it comes down to it. Some people will say, you should never do that, or, there's no way I'd ever do that. When at the end of the day, it's perfectly safe process, and it's just basically someone's preference to do things one way or the other. But as far as discrepancies are concerned, I mean, we're dealing with the same tolerances, we're dealing with the same pressures, we're dealing with the same environmental factors, we're dealing with all of the exact same things, and we are following a recipe that allows us to get through and address those issues. All right, so the third one, when gunsmithing, is there only one way to skin a cat? If there are multiple ways to accomplish gunsmithing work, there are fundamental principles that we should be maintained at all times. Yes, there is definitely more than one way to skin a cat. When building an AR. Okay. Some people like to start with the blower. Some people like to start with the upper. Some people use a freestanding, like a bench vise. Maybe some people might use a bench vise. Some people might use a freestanding vise. Some might use vices that actually move and pivot. And then some people may decide they want to start with the buffer tube. Some people may want to start with with putting in the takedown pin, and going that route. So there is more than one way. However, when we're working with these firearms, it is definitely important to remember that we are dealing with something that is a deadly weapon, and because of the fact that we are dealing with pressures that are in the tens of thousands per square inch, safety has to be adhered to at all times. We need to make sure that everything is installed properly, everything is torqued to the right specifications. Off topic, but one of the discussion posts mentioned I mentioned something about M2. I was in an M2 course, and they did someone on the other one of the other squads did not headspace correctly. It blew the receiver, blew parts of the receiver off. He ended up having to be taken out in an ambulance. So we are dealing with things that are very, very dangerous. So adhere to safety at all times. And we're even dealing with chemicals. Some chemicals, especially when we're doing like bluing. So adhere to your safety precautions at all times. And when they always nail it into our heads in the military: safety, safety, safety. All right. Next, what future education and training will you pursue to continue building your understanding and important gunsmithing principles? There's actually another course I want to get into with SDI. That's the 1911 course. I live in Arizona. A lot of what we see down here are going to be AR-15s, Glocks. We're not going to see a lot of hunting rifles. We do have people who do go to like New Mexico to hunt elk, but they may go up north to hunt deer, hunt mule deer. But when it comes down to it, we're not going to see a lot of wooden furniture. We're not going to see a lot of shotguns with Turkish walnut or English walnut. We're not going to see that. We're going to see polymer. We're also going to see 1911s. Arizonans, for some reason, love 1911s. And at the end of the day, I'm one of them. I love 1911s too. But when it comes down to it, that's something I definitely want to get into. That course, I also want to start working a little bit more with an SOT. I've already filed FFL. A lot of you probably have also filed for an FFL. I want to be working towards my SOT and starting to learn a little bit more about the machining, so I can actually start manufacturing things like suppressors. So I definitely want to get into that. But that 1911 course is going to be something that if y'all are going to be jumping into it, I may actually see a couple of you here in there, because I'm going to be getting into that pretty soon. All right, well, that is it. I had a great time in this entire degree program. Looking forward to getting out there and getting working. But I am going to say I am going to miss doing some of this stuff. It was pretty fun, and the last time I was in school was when I got my bachelor's degree, which was, we're talking 10 years ago. So I did use the Chibo, but 10 years ago. So really like getting in, learning stuff, getting talking to people, doing discussion posts. It's great to see some ideas coming from folks, and just see other thoughts processes, see how that works. All right, well, that's it, and I wish you all good luck and a very profitable future.